Hello, I'm Lori with Inspirational Enthusiasm. This is my channel that I created back in 2018, and now I've decided to take it to the next level and do tarot readings for everyone. I have 30 years of experience in tarot readings. Most of those years I did them for myself, but now I'm expanding into helping others with them on their healing journey. And within these readings, we're looking at the February 2022 energy, and all that is what energy will we be facing or dealing with in the month of February. You might not resonate with everything in the readings. Whatever you resonate with, keep. What you don't, then get rid of. Use your discernment to determine what you need to hold on to and what you need to use for your personal growth. If something doesn't resonate with you in your sun reading, you can look at your moon, your rising, or your Venus. So any one of those, since those are your personal planets, those will help you with the energy the energy of you to help you move forward in the month of February. So I hope you enjoy the readings. We really look forward to any feedback that you have. And if I'm missing anything, hopefully I'll catch it in the next video. So y'all take care and enjoy the videos. All right, Aries, this is your February energy reading. And we're going to see what the cards have in store for you. And they're wanting to come out. So let's see what they say. All right. Here you are in your glory, Aries, an Empress. Okay, it's telling me you've got some kind of relationship going on. All right, just lay them out and then I'll talk you through it. Okay, so first of all, it's all about you, Aries, and we know us Aries, I am one included, know that it is all about us until we evolve, right? So this month, this is all about you, and it looks like from what has come out is this is about a balance of your own divine feminine and masculine. This is finding that happy medium between the two, or healing the masculine or the feminine, because we have the healing. This is the strongest healing card in the deck. So it's all about sitting in your power, finding that balance between I guess the balance between the feminine and the masculine, and then integrating it. It feels like there's confusion there. So this is coming into play where I feel like you're feeling external energies that might feel foreign to you. And so this is all about feeling into who you are, your independence, taking your power back, finding your strength, and getting rid of, putting down any resistance to growing as a person, growing as a sentient being. That is what's coming through at this point as I'm intuiting through this reading. So all about healing and finding the balance and really getting out of your head. So down here we have the Eight of Swords, and this card always intrigues me because the Eight of Swords is a woman that has a mask on, or I guess it's a blindfold, and is tied up. But if you look close enough, everything is loose enough that she could get out of it. So she is keeping herself tied up. And that's what's going on. And as an Aries, I can tell you that we're pretty good at that, keeping ourselves, we tend to keep ourselves held back. We present very strong, very powerful as leaders, as we are, but we tend to be very stuck inside, and we don't want people to see that side of us. So this is a part of you that is having a hard time coming to terms with being who you really are. And there's a decision to be made. It's like, okay, which way are we going? Are we going to stay in that, and I'm getting all kinds of downloads here. Are we going to stay in that old programming, that old feeling, or are we going to move forward? and we're moving forward because this is the end. The Ten of Swords, although this is a pretty scary looking card, it's actually, in my book, it's actually one of the better cards because this is an ending. This is, yes, you can feel that there's been a lot that's happened. There's a tragic ending, but if you look closely at this card, there is the sun coming up in the background. So this is new beginnings. And this is also a 10 card. And a 10 in numerology, the 1 in the 10 is new beginnings, and the 0 is God consciousness. So this is all about putting the ugliness in the past and moving forward. The card I pulled on the bottom of the deck is another 10, which is interesting. So we've got the 10 with the 10 of Wands, and with the 10 of Wands, this is putting down things that no longer serve you. So in this reading, it's all about putting down what no longer serves you, pulling into your power, pulling into your individuality, using the healing energy that we Aries have. This healing energy. We tend to be with that cardinal energy. We're really good at starting things and helping people and just being very powerful. Embracing and embodying that energy to balance yourself out and to move forward. So there's work. There's actually a lot of work involved, and the work is a lot about getting out of your own head. So I want to do a little bit more here, see what else is. I want to see what the messages are from your higher self, because this feels to me to be a little bit more deep. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so this is exactly what I was feeling. So this is all about stepping into your powers, stepping into your, this is really about stepping into your intuitive abilities. For my Aries out there, this is trepidation. This is fear about moving forward. You're having a feeling that you're supposed to be in another space, or you're supposed to be doing something else. And this is about following your intuition. Queen of Wands, this is all about, really interesting here is you've got the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So this is the balance that we were talking about in the beginning. Empress, Emperor, King, Queen of Wands. So this is all about digging in, finding that passion, finding that balance, finding that courage to step into your power. And then the Ace of Swords, whenever the Ace of Swords comes out, when I'm saying something, this is yes. This is all about, this is truth. This is what you need to hear. So as a recap, just really believing in yourself, digging deep, finding the power and the courage that you have within that maybe you've been suppressing for a while. So when you do that, you will step into the power that you've been searching for. So that is your February reading for my Aries. Hello, my Taurians. So this is your February energy reading, and we're going to see what the cards have in store for you today. Get a little bit more of a shuffle. And as I lay out the cards, I will tell you what they're saying and what they mean. So first of all, you got a little reversal going on. So the top card in my readings is always the overall energy of the entire reading. And then this is the body. And then I always pull the card underneath. That is the shadow or your subconscious. So interesting reading here. Overall, there's some trepidation, there's some nervousness, there's some overthinking going on, and I can see it throughout the reading. So you have something on your mind, there's some overthinking, there's an ending that needs to happen that you've been putting off. And this definitely looks like a love reading, a love reading relationship, a relationship that has reached the end of its course. And as I'm talking, I can feel the heaviness. It's sad and just right off the bat, we've got the Four of Wands that's upside down. And most tarot readers, including myself, refer to this card as the twin flame card. If you're not familiar with that term, we're not going to get into it now, but just to say that this looks like this could be indicative of a twin flame, that there's some kind of ending in that relationship. Again, side note on that if you're not familiar with that, but overall, this is loss. The Nine of Wands here is telling me that, you've been beat up. It's almost like you were grasping at straws, trying to keep a relationship alive that had reached its end, and it was way past its expiration date. And as you're coming through that, it's time to heal. So this relationship was very necessary. It was extremely karmic. It was lessons learned. It was something that you needed to learn in order to move you to the next level of your journey in your life. So what I like to say when things end, especially when they end in a challenging way, is if we can look at them as lessons instead of things that happen to us, then it takes a lot of the charge out of it. And that is the message, and I just got really hot when I said that. So that is the message for you, and this is to look at this pain and suffering that you've been going through and look at that as the lesson, and what is the healing message in the situation that you went through. And it's time to stand back and take your power. There's a lot of wands in this reading, so that's indicative of taking action. So this is time to really take action, move yourself forward, stop resisting, stop going back. I feel like it's going back, like you keep going back to an old relationship and you're keeping yourself stuck. This Eight of Swords is very telling that you're in a situation that you feel like you need to stay in, but you're staying in it for the wrong reasons. So if there are children involved, if it's a marriage, or if maybe you feel like that no one else would want you, that's not true, and that's something that is a game. There's all kinds of things coming through into my conscious. So that's a lie that you're telling yourself. That's ego. That is ego telling you things that are not true. So it's really time to move on. It's time to move on in your thinking. The Six of Swords in this is telling you I'm hearing, cut your losses and move forward. And move forward in a very with the learner's mind, with the young mind. It's something about young. It's time to just really work on forgetting what the pain that was endured in that, and knowing that you can start again. And that is, sorry, this message is really struggling. I'm struggling with this one because I can feel so much emotion coming through that you don't want to give up. You keep going back because you think that, then if I give them another chance, it's going to be better this time. And it's not. This is the stubborn energy. The Four of Pentacles is you being stubborn, them being stubborn, and not being able to move forward. The message is telling you it's time to move forward. Underneath, interestingly, is the Queen of Wands. And so your subconscious it's time to find your passion, find your strength, find that inner sassy person that you have, that get back to who you are, what you like, what you want to do, and really play in that energy. A lot of times when we're in relationships, we tend to lose our own identity, and once you come out, it's time to find out what you like, figure out what are the different things that make you happy, and explore those. And as you do that, you help yourself in the healing process. And surprisingly, along the way, the more that you do the things you like, the more you attract the people in your life that you're supposed to be around, and that new love eventually. But let's take a look and see what your higher self is saying about this. Okay, so the Tower, the Ten of Pentacles, and Justice. So this is telling me that whatever happened, this could have been sudden. This was something that, even though you were going back and forth, there's something that finally was the straw that broke the camel's back, and your higher self is saying, okay, this is it. It's time to move forward. It's time to stop. The only way that you're going to find the abundance and the happiness that you're looking for is to move on, to find the Justice card, of course, comes out. This is someone that's really wronged you, and your higher self is encouraging you to stand strong, move forward, and be true to yourself. Find your balance, because something has happened in this relationship that is really throwing you out of balance. So this would be a really good time to, as you're working on healing yourself, meditate, journal. And journaling especially, because whatever is going on here was not pleasant. So journaling is a good way to get those negative feelings out of here and on paper. And then really good in retrospect when you're moving forward in your life to go back and look and say, okay, what did I go through? What happened? How did I handle it? How did I move forward? Really good to look back on the journaling, because it'll keep you from making the same mistake again. So that is your reading for February. Hang in there, because you have the strength to move forward. Coming out of this difficult situation, don't lose faith, and really use this opportunity to work on your healing. Hello, my Geminis. So this is your February reading for Gemini, and we're going to see what energy is in store for you. And I'll explain as I go through. Okay, so in my readings, the top card is the overall energy for the reading, and then this is the body, and I'll explain what's going on once we get done. It's funny, a lot of these readings are very similar today. So Gemini, body of the reading, and then the card, I always pull the card at the bottom, and that is your shadow side or your subconscious. So for my Geminis, looks like overall you are, this is about being, so this is very, very powerful. This is the Queen of Wands and the Empress right next to each other, actually on top of each other, is something about, I'm feeling that you've made a big change recently. And there was a time that you, in the past, not so long ago, you weren't living your truth. You were stuck. You were stuck in an energy that you weren't comfortable with. And it's really interesting because I've done, Aries and Taurus already today, and we're having a lot of the same cards come out. So it's a lot of similar energy. But with you, Gemini, this is definitely stepping into your power. This is starting again, and I feel intuitively what's coming up is you had taken a break in your life for a while, and what had happened is you did really well for a while, and then there was this lull, this quiet time, this time of almost hermiting, and now you're coming out of it. And it was coming out of a difficult situation. Again, this card has come up in all readings, so there's some significance to it. The Eight of Swords, this is about a situation that you found yourself in that you felt like you couldn't get out of, but you could. And now you've pulled into that power of putting down the resistance of staying in that situation. It's like, I'm done with this. And you're moving forward. And there's the majority of this reading is about wands. Again, this is a theme that's going on today. So this is about action, moving forward, and utilizing the energy of February. This month, we're coming out of Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde. So really harnessing that energy to move forward, move on. And there's something in here about helping yourself as well as helping others. I see some interaction between, okay, this is what's going on here. This is, no offense to my Gemini, but this is about you growing up. This is about not blaming other people. This is the young energy of, boy, and this is not how these cards read, but I'm just going to tell you how I'm intuiting into this. This is about victim mentality, feeling like that you had been taken advantage of, that there was nothing that you could do, that everything was happening to you, and now you're in that energy of, no, I am not doing that anymore. I'm taking back my power. I'm sitting on my throne, and I'm going to do what I know is right. And it's time to put in a lot of work. So as you've come through that heavy energy and through the heaviness, this is a rebirth, but this rebirth really is about putting in the work. The Eight of Pentacles this is showing me that it's time for you to put in the work. And this is not just work on yourself. This is digging in and figuring out, why am I the way I am? What was I doing? Who am I? And I feel like this is you 2.0. This is the new and improved Gemini. And I think also what I'm seeing in here is, you Gemini know there's a lot of duality in your life. You can be one way and present another. And there's something about this taking that energy and really working with it. There is so much in here about working on yourself. And look at this. This to me is showing duality. This is really stepping into who you are and integrating, bringing that together, putting down the doubt. And I know this is a little bit of a fuzzy reading, so just give me a second here. So it's about the duality. And this is about not trusting your judgment. And it's time to really put down that doubt, move forward, do the hard work. And subconsciously, the Lover's card, this is about choices. This is about, this is the 6 card. So 6 is about balance, choices, and about, in your reading, this is about that duality is bringing that together and loving yourself. Because I feel like you've been overgiving to a lot of other people, and now it's time to put that focus on you. So now let's see, I want to take a look at messages from your higher self. This is, there's a lot of passion in here too. So you're very, and I know a lot of Geminis, so I have a lot of very good friends that are Geminis, and they are passionate people. I haven't met a Gemini that wasn't. And a lot of ideas, right? You always have 1,000 ideas at once. So maybe what I'm picking up on and all that duality is it's time to pick an idea and move forward with that. Pick an idea and move forward with that. That looks like that's the theme. Let's see what your higher self has to say about that. Oh yeah, so this is all about you. So in this case, you're allowed to make it all about you. This is about you. You have the power, you have all the resources, you have all the tools, and now it's time to take all of those and bring them together and move forward. Move forward with love, and there's a lot in here about. There's a lot in here about taking back your power, because there's kings and queens and empress, and this is about really digging into that self-love, into that self-care. This is really looking at yourself through a different lens and really liking who you are. The 10 of Cups is just that. Once you see yourself for who you truly are, then you can feel that love, because I'm feeling like you haven't been seeing yourself for the person that you truly are, and you've been almost fighting and resisting, and there's something about being so distracted that you've not been able to focus. And so to summarize this, I really feel like pick a lane, stay in it, and work on yourself, and find the love in yourself. Work on finding that love. And when I say self-care and self-love, I'm not talking about a spa day. This is all about finding the things that you like to do. And self-care is not just about mani-pedis and massages. This is about boundaries. This is about living your life in your authenticity, finding the things that and the behaviors that you're okay with. So it looks like there are some external behaviors that you have been putting up with, that now you're in a new period of your life where you're moving forward, taking that power back, and really focusing on yourself. So that's the message for my Geminis here. Take care of yourself. Hello, this is the energy reading for February for Cancer, for my Cancers out there. So we're going to tap in and see what messages we have for you this month. And I will tell you what I am feeling as we go. So in my readings, this is always, the first card, the top card is always the overarching energy of the reading. And this is the body. And I'm going to lay this out, and once I'm done laying it out, then we will talk through it. All right, and then the card at the bottom is always your shadow or your subconscious. I always like that because it always kind of tells what's going on underneath. So overall, it looks like my Cancers, you're dealing with loss. There's something that you have that you need to walk away from, but you haven't walked away from, or you finally did make that decision. And I definitely see this Knight of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. The energy I'm picking up is that it almost feels like that you're rejecting an offer of love. So overall, this is about saying no. This is about saying no to a situation that you feel like is not good for you. And I'm not quite sure you're right or wrong at this point, because it looks like this was a partnership, and this is some kind of conflict between doing the right thing and not. So for some, this might not resonate for all of you, but for a smaller portion of you, this looks like a relationship that happened that you didn't intend to happen. And I hate to call it this, but some kind of an affair that happened. It could be an emotional affair, it could be mental, but it feels like it's very emotional. It could be physical is what I was going to say. But this feels like having a hard time in discerning about doing the right thing, and the right thing as it relates to you. So this feels like somebody that you met that you had an instant connection with, and you weren't expecting it, and someone that you're having to walk away from, and there's a lot of loss, there's a lot of sadness, and again, this is deep. There's some very deep energy here. I am definitely picking up on third-party energy. So it feels like, for those of you out there, this feels like a relationship that you didn't expect, that came in very suddenly. and it feels like it's really upending your world. It's changing the way you look at things. It's changing the way that you felt about, it's changing the way you felt about the world, about the past, and you're digging deep to try to figure out what the right thing to do is. Wheel of Fortune and the World. So these are some pretty powerful cards to have, especially next to each other. But this is about you moving into your what's best for you. Because whatever relationship that you may be in, it may not be the relationship that you're supposed to be in. This is feeling like whoever you have bumped into emotionally, physically, mentally, this is someone, it's definitely on your path. We don't run into anybody by accident, but this is someone that is really moving you forward into seeing your life in a way that you had never seen your life before. This is actually showing you that you are you're an independent sovereign being. This is someone that is flipping the script on the way you've seen your life up until this moment. This card about your subconscious is all about putting down baggage from the past. This is really interesting to me because you weren't expecting this. This was a blindside. This was I'm going along with my life. I'm doing my job. I'm taking care of my kids, and then blam, out of nowhere, something happens to totally disrupt your life. And in this case, I'm feeling that there are no accidents, of course, but I feel like this is very intentional from the universe, that this is getting you onto the track that you were supposed to be on. Great disruption is one of the ways that we are thrown into our spiritual awakening. And for the Cancers out there, I feel like that this is throwing you into that. This is the catalyst that is throwing you into seeing your life differently and really opening your eyes. Let's take a look and see messages from your higher self. This is really powerful. I can feel this in my core. Let's see what we got here. So, Justice, King of Cups, and Lovers. So as I'm doing your reading, the nerves and the anxiety and there's a fear that I'm picking up very strongly. There's a fear of being caught too, because this is something about, there is all kinds of trepidation, and you're not living in your truth at this point, because you feel like you're trying to do what's right for everybody else but yourself. The Justice card, this is what I'm picking up with this energy, and this is 11. There's a very strong connection with this person that you've met, and this is making you feel actually more balanced than you have in the past. Even though this is very disruptive energy, there's a feeling coming through with this reading that this is your person, but you're having a hard time with communicating it, both of you. The King of Cups is notorious for, it's a very strong, loving energy, but one of the worst communicators in the deck of tarot. So this is showing me that there's some kind of challenge in the communication. And then with the Lovers, in this reading, the Lovers is coming out as, this is a deep love. This is a relationship. This is not a term I like to bring up very often because it takes us down a whole rabbit hole, but this is definitely has a very strong twin flame reading. So for those of you that don't know what that is, you're better off. For those of you that do, let's just say that the twin flame, in twin flame theory, it's about finding the other half of your soul. And that is what it feels like that's coming through in this reading, that you were living your life, things were business as usual, and then all of a sudden you ran into this person that the attraction was palpable. And now you're struggling with which way to turn and how to move forward. And the advice here, I'm going to actually do something different in this reading, because we're going to give you a little bit of advice. For one, this is about working on keeping your balance. Yeah, now they're just messing with us. So this is the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. So this is, the advice is, this is funny. The advice is about you have a decision to make, whether you're going to juggle two people, or whether you're going to block this new person. And what I'm seeing in this reading is that it's coming across, the advice is to stand in your power, but it's showing that you are going to block this new relationship. So this takes a lot longer than what these readings were set up for. Okay, so this takes a lot of contemplation. This is going to be one of those experiences, for those of you that are resonating with this reading. There are a lot of YouTube videos out there, there's a lot of good information on twin flames. I'd say right off the top of my head, Brian Scott is one that's really good to go to. This is something that flips your life upside down. And this is, when you're going through this type of situation, which I'm seeing in this reading, this is all about the spiritual journey. This is a catalyst moment that is catapulting you into really changing the way you look at your life, and really digging deep to find out what's important to you. So take what's going on in this relationship and use it as the way to start your healing journey, if you haven't already started it. But if you have already started it, then it's time to really dig in and start working on the wounds from your past, the wounds from your childhood. I will say that I've been on this journey myself, and what I had to do is I had to do a lot of shadow work. I had to dig deep into my childhood wounds, dig deep into the patterns that I had been showing and going through over and over and over again. So this is deep healing. This is deep healing that's needed. A couple pieces of advice, without getting real deep into this, is, working on journaling. Start writing down your feelings. Start putting it on paper. Put it somewhere where you're comfortable with, because you're going to need this to look back on to help you to move forward on your healing journey. So for my Cancers out there, I just want to say that you are not alone. A lot of people get thrust into their spiritual awakening due to a twin flame catalyst, and that's what it looks like for Cancers. That this is your catalyst of throwing you into that journey to help you heal and to help you move forward. And I know I'm kind of rambling about this because this is very deep. This is the deepest message that I've seen in a really long time. It's so strong that my entire body is on fire. I can feel you. I can feel your pain. I can feel your sadness. And again, this is all about how to heal yourself. Start working on healing yourself. And I send you off with love and light with this message. Hello, my Leos. It's time for your February energy reading. And let's see. I'm being asked to shuffle just a little bit more, so give me just a second. All right. So, what do we have for my Leos? So the way I lay out my readings, this top card is your overall energy of the reading, and then we got the guts or the body of the reading. And once I lay it out, I'll tell you what I got. Okay, so, and then underneath, I always like to pull the shadow or or your subconscious. So Leo looks like that. This is actually a really beautiful reading. This feels like that there's a lot of self-reflection that you've been doing, that you are stepping into into what you love to do. And it has a lot to do with your intuition. So there's something that's going on with learning how to discern information. You've been through some things in the past that have been very transformational, but they've helped you to see yourself more clearly. And it's helping you, all of what you've gone through is helping you learn to communicate better in love, in relationships, and really bringing you into union. This is bringing you into union with yourself, as well as other people. But this is a really pretty reading about you stepping into who you want to be moving forward in life. So I don't see any cards that show me a lot about the past, but it feels like there have been several years of challenges that have led you up to where you are now. And this is definitely bringing you into your power, into showing you that you have all the tools and resources that you need to move forward. You're learning a lot. You could have a very voracious appetite right now for learning, looking at a whole bunch of different modalities and books on different kinds of information. And I'm getting a really strong feeling for the Leos out there that this is about whatever you have learned, you want to pay it forward. You want to help people. You are learning to help people get through the pain. This is obviously, you can tell in this card, the Nine of Wands, you've been through a battle, and you have a goal or a job or a mission to help people move past pain and into a more I'm hearing beautiful, but into a more beautiful space within themselves. And interesting as I'm saying that, helping others. This is really stepping into your mission, and this is very transformational energy. You might have been very, I don't want to say self-absorbed, but very much into yourself for the last few years, and now you have a desire and a passion to help others. And this is extremely transformational energy. This is a death card, not scary. It's all about transforming yourself. And it's moving you into clarity, seeing past the secrets, seeing past the illusions, uncovering issues from the past, helping others uncover. Now, this whole reading is about being of service to others, and really helping them to see clearly. The moon is an interesting card. It is all about illusion, and it's the Pisces card. It's about illusion and secrets, and this is all about you helping people move past that. So utilizing the experience that you've had in your years, and in specifically a past relationship, to help others move forward. And your subconscious is showing that whatever you're feeling, you're feeling good. You're finally at a place of peace where you hadn't been for a while. And there's something also that's coming through about some new work, I feel like for some Leos out there, this is about moving into some kind of intuitive work, into some type of, is the word I'm looking for, some type of, whether it's tarot or astrology or whatever passion you have, it's some type of metaphysical modality to help other people. That's coming through very strong with the High Priestess, the Magician, the Transformation of Moon. This is utilizing your intuitive powers to help other people. And there's lots of modalities out there that you can take advantage of and learn. Again, this Page of Pentacles, this is you learning right now. This is you in that deep learning process. So let's see, let's get a message from your higher self. Let's see what your higher self has to say about all this. This is really a beautiful message. Good old Sag. So Temperance, the Five of Cups, and the Four of Swords. So straight away, I'm feeling like this is a time it's funny, it's a little bit mixed, but this is about finding balance. It's moving past the loss. It's taking some time to rest. So this is, you've been through a lot in the last few years. This is feeling like a spiritual awakening that you went through, like a dark night of the soul where you felt very helpless and hopeless. And this energy, you're finally pulling out of that, and you're understanding that it was very on purpose what you went through. So you could learn how to, I always like the Temperance card. It's about balance, it's about moderation. But in this reading, it doesn't always read like this, but in this reading, this is about finding the balance for yourself and finding the tools finding your own tools through the experience that you went through in order to help other people work through the loss and heal themselves. So this is about moving forward on your spiritual path moving forward on your spiritual path and helping others move forward on theirs. So this is, again, it's really beautiful energy. I can tell that whatever you've gone through before this had put you through the ringer, but you're coming out the other side. So it's a really beautiful message for my Leos out there. So love and light to the Leos. Hello to my Virgos. This is your February energy reading for Virgo. We gotta do a little bit more shuffling here. There's lots of energy. Oh, and you're gonna get some flippers. So let's see. So there's obviously a message in here for you because they are jumping like jumping beans. So Virgo, what do we have going on for you this month? So in my readings, the way I do them, I always have, I pull the top card out, and that is the overarching energy for the reading. And then this is the body. And then I pull the card at the bottom, and this gives you this is the shadow, or your subconscious. So sorry to be choppy here, but I'm picking up a lot from your reading. So overarching, this is about relationship, and I can see a lot of people, and there's a lot of people dancing in and out of your life, Virgo. It looks like that there's a lot of relationships, and there's a lot of drama, and there's some challenges. There's some decisions that you've been having a hard time making, and there's a lot of opposing energy here. So on one hand, you have a lot of grounded King of Pentacles, a lot of grounded, very earthy, loving energy. And so it looks like you've been in a very stable relationship for a very long time, and there's some passionate energy that has just popped in with the King of Wands, and it is throwing you into a decision. And this is like, which way do I go? There may be something to do with work here. So I feel like for Virgos, this is a very strong very strong energy about work, because we've got all these pentacles in a row here. So this feels to me like this is a work reading for you all. You've been in a job that has been very stable and very, I don't know, I'm hearing boring too. No offense to my Virgos, but very stable. Looks like it's been supporting you for a long time, but that is not really where you want to be. It was good for a while, and for a long while. It looks like it's something that you've been in for quite some time. But now you're looking to branch out, and you're making a decision on what to do next. And it's something that you have a lot of passion about. So it's something that you've been thinking about for a long time. Lots of contemplation. With the Seven of Pentacles there, it's like, I think I'm ready to do something different, but I'm not quite sure. And there's obviously a lot of stability that you're contemplating walking away from, and it's scaring the hell out of you. This Eight of Swords right here is showing that, you feel stuck. You're feeling very stuck in this job that you're in, and you feel like that you can't get out of it. But in this Eight of Swords, it's very apparent that all she has to do is move a little and she can get out of the restraints that she is, because it's cloth that's tying her. It's nothing that's strong. So this is about you getting out of your way. This is also, I'm seeing, there's a lot of people involved. So it looks like one of the other contributing factors about you wanting to move forward on your journey is you're really tired of the drama, and there seems to be a lot of negativity. And it's an energy that you've dealt with and you were okay with for a really long time, but now it's time to move forward. With the Knight of Pentacles, it's like, okay, I'm taking my toys and going somewhere else, because I'm done with all this mess, all this nonsense. But it's interesting also because you're doubting yourself. You're having this whole, but how do I walk away from the money? How do I walk into a new life? How do I walk into something that's my new passion? So this is all internal conversation that you're having. Like, you know what you want to do, but you are afraid to make that decision. And with the Justice card, this is there may be something legal going on here too at work that is making you uncomfortable. Some of you may be working for a company that you are not comfortable with their ethics. That's coming through real strong all of a sudden. So whatever business that you're in, and a bunch of different types of industries are coming into mind. A lot of industries, the way they've done things for years has been, very money driven, very monetary, all about profit, not about the people. And as it relates to your reading, this is something that you don't want to stand by and watch anymore. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to move forward into something that is helping other people, that is for the greater good. That is more balanced too, because it feels like there's an imbalance in your work life, like all work and no play. I got a little bit of a Shining reference for my older folks out there, but this is about finding your balance too. And underneath there, the Page of Swords, this card is this, there's a message, like in the shadows, there's a message. This is telling you to pay attention to that little voice inside your head, or that little voice inside your heart. That's your intuition. It's really paying attention to what that's saying. Follow that voice, because you're not living your truth. You're not living in the environment that you want to live in. It doesn't feel good. So let's get a few cards from your higher self and see what your higher self has to say. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay. So this is Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Cups, and the Empress. This is all about ending a chapter and beginning a new one. So whether you are ready or not, it feels like that there's something coming that is going to catapult you into moving forward. It's good because this is your heart's desire. This is where you're going to find your happiness. This is a rebirth. This is actually a whole rebirth of you and who you are. This is following that gut feeling and your destiny. Your destiny is to get out of that grind, that stuck energy work, and to move forward into something that is benefiting you, but benefiting, again, like I said, the greater good. So this is definitely telling me to tell you it's time to move forward. And I am compelled to pull just a couple more cards for you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's, a couple aces here. Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, and the Six of Cups. So this is definitely about your truth, finding what you love. So this, as it relates to the work, this is really stepping into doing what you love, doing what really comes naturally, doing what you believe in. This is putting me in mind of like corporations. I have a long history in working in the corporate world, 25 years. And after a while, I was just like, is this really what I want to do? Do I really, is this, I got to a point where I wasn't, I was going through the motions, and I was doing my work, and I was good at my work, but it really wasn't what I wanted to do. And this Six of Cups, this is a past life soulmate card. This is interesting. This is telling me that this is something coming up from the past that has come into your purview, and it keeps coming it keeps coming up like, I should do this. I should do this. You're getting signs and synchronicities from the universe, but you're not paying attention. So it's telling me to tell you it's time to do what you're meant to do. And it's time to move forward and get out of this rut and this heavy energy that you've been in. So time to move forward, my Virgos. Good luck to you all. Hello, Libras. It's time for our lovely Libra February energy reading. So no offense to the other signs, but I just lovely Libra sounds good, and they are lovely. So what is going on with the Libras this month of February 2022? So with my readings, if you're new to my readings, the first card is always the energy for the entire reading. This is the body of the reading, or the guts, as I like to call it. And I'll lay this out, and then we'll talk through what I'm picking up energy-wise. Interesting. Okay. And then the bottom card of the deck, I always pull, that is the shadow, or that also represents your subconscious. So for Libras, there's a lot of, right off the bat, I will tell you, I'm feeling like some deception and some lying and some cheating and some walking away from someone that has not been honest with you. So this is, it's real heavy. So it's something that it's time to leave something behind, someone behind, an energy behind, and move forward. So this is pretty interesting, because Seven of Swords is actually one of my least favorite cards. My least favorite cards in the deck are the 7 and the 5, and these are both indicative of deceit, of someone taking something that belongs to you. So this also feels like you may not be aware of this. It may be something that is happening behind your back that you will be finding out about later. So keep your eyes open for that. But as we move through, whatever is happening that's behind the scenes is okay, because you're moving forward. This is about you have your eye on the prize. You're moving forward. You're not paying attention to any BS that's going on behind you. That's what I'm seeing very clearly. You're putting down the burden of other people. You're looking towards the future. You're making plans for a new life, it looks like. There also is something that I'm seeing that there could be something new that's being offered to you. New love. And it's a small offer of new love, but it's something that is coming through that is very different from what you have experienced in the past. I'm hearing the word unique, like there is a unique new loving experience that really changes the way you see things. There is for those of you that follow, spiritual leaders and folks in that space, Dr. Wayne Dyer used to always say, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. And that is coming through very strongly. And there's something that was happening in your life in the past. It's a pattern. It's a way of doing things. And you're moving into a very different space now. You're moving into, and maybe this is you, with offering the way you do things in a loving manner, a different loving manner. So we're kind of all over the board with this, but it could either be an offer of love to you, or you are putting forth this offer of love, but it's doing things very differently, and it's moving forward. There again, I'm pulling in the deception. This is a really interesting look at the bottom here. This is deception and the third party energy in between the Chariot. So it's really moving away from a third party situation, moving away from, I feel like that's all interconnected. And if you can see this the way I can see it, you've got the Seven of Swords, the Five of Swords here, and the Three of Swords. This makes a divine triangle. So there's some kind of energy coming through that there was some third-party funny business going on in the past, and you're moving past it. And when we talk about third-party energy, third-party is not just about cheating, like physical cheating. It can be an addiction or an issue or an instance or something that is taking you off your path, that is getting in the way, that is interfering. One of the things that comes to mind right away is like workaholism. Like if you're working too much and you're not taking a break, then that is a third party energy that you need to be working, that you need to be moving out of. I don't see this as a work reading, but I do see this as really, really digging in and taking a look at how you do things and pay attention to that. Are you over giving? Are you putting too much in? Do you need to put something down that you've been carrying and move forward? That is what's coming through very strongly. And then underneath the shadow, your subconscious is telling you it's time to move forward. It's really time to let go of whatever that is, and hopefully you are you're picking up on that energy. It's just walk away, just turn around and walk away. It's not worth the fight. So that's it. So a lot of times when we feel like we're wronged or we find it out, even if it's something that happened to us years and years ago and someone's coming clean, we get mad, we get angry, and we want to address it. This is saying let it go and move on, and really come from a place of love and compassion and forgiveness, and know that that's not for your highest and best good. So let's see what energy we're picking up from your higher self. This is a little bit of a interesting message. Okay, so in looking at what your higher self is saying, it's celebrating. It's something about your foundation. So going back, I feel like this whole reading is telling you that you've kind of started to stray away from something that you're really drawn to. Like you've been going in one direction and something is pulling you back, and you need to follow your passion and not be afraid to move forward. So it's time to really listen to that inner voice inside and stop being afraid. The things that you want to do to move forward, you have the capability to do that, but you're letting the seeds of doubt just really get into your head, and it's time to move forward. You're compelled to pull a few more cards. Yeah, so you're confused and you're not. One of the things that I'm getting the messages is you need to talk to somebody about this. There's things that are going through your head that you're allowing to be insidious and not reaching out and not talking to people. So this isn't how this card usually reads, but it's reading to this way in this reading is about asking for help from other people, even just spilling your guts about what is going on inside, at the very least, just to get it out of you, because it may be so deep inside that you don't even realize that it's something that has you a little bit off track. So pay attention to that voice inside, and Libras, start to ask for help. All right. Hello to my Sagittarius, my Saggies. This is your February energy reading for 2022. So let's see what's going on with your energy. All right. So the way I do my readings, if you're new to the channel, that the first card that I pull out, this is the overarching energy of the reading. And then this is the guts, or the body of it. It's a nicer way to put it. Oh, got a little reversal going on here. And the bottom card I always pull is the shadow, or the I always forget the word when I'm getting to this point, your subconscious. So what's underlying, maybe what you don't know, what you need to deal with. So there's a whole lot of people in your energy right now. So there's a lot of very feminine energy, and I feel like for Saggies, if you're, now, I don't know, for those of you who are watching, masculine and feminine is not the same as male and female. So this could be a message for the men, it could be a message for the women, however you identify. But this feels like this is really pulling into some feminine energy. So for me, just as an example, I'm a female, obviously, but I have a lot of masculine energy. I'm an Aries sun, and I've always pulled out, I've always felt and exhibited a lot of the masculine energy. In this, I'm feeling like this is really calling to stop the action, because masculine energy is very much about action and getting things done. And this is about being more receptive and more flow, more allow. And what's really screaming at me is allowing the healing process and allowing yourself to stop. And I get a song in my head, look around, but stop and really pay attention to what you've been feeling. And because you've been doing too much, and you've been doing it as a distraction technique is what I feel. So a lot of times you can use addictions to numb things, but you can also make yourself so busy that you're not paying attention to the work that you need to focus on. And that is what I'm feeling here. This is a message of paying attention to those feelings, allow, be receptive. And I'm also seeing it being very necessary to ground your energy. Like I feel a lot of up here with your energy, like it's all over the place. And as we move forward into the reading, I see that you've been doing a lot of work. So I think that you've been using work as a distraction, and you've been real stubborn about wanting to do things your way and only your way, not listening to others' advice. And I know a lot of Sagittarians, and you can be that way sometimes, kind of doing what you do. But in this instance, it's time to set it down. It's time to step away from it. It's time to listen and to do what you need to do to work on yourself. Interesting that I didn't have any reversals put into this deck, but the star card came up upside down. And the star card is Aquarian energy, but it's also the most healing card in the deck. What this reversal is telling me intuitively is that you are not working on yourself. You are paying attention to work and everything else around you, and you're stuck in old ways of thinking. This Hierophant is about, old structures and traditional thinking, and really wanting to stay in that energy, not wanting to change, wanting to, it ain't broke, I ain't gonna fix it. But you also have this Page of Wands showing up, which is encouraging you to look at things differently, to become more childlike and more passionate, and look at things, again, look at things differently, look at things in a way that are more playful. And Sagittarius, you don't have any issue with the playful side of it, but maybe you have over the last year especially. I'm seeing you've gotten into just working so hard so you don't have to face your fears and problems. Now underneath, it looks like this Four of Wands is telling me that you really inside want a relationship, want something to, you want to feel that connection with someone. You want, I'm hearing yin and yang. You want that balance, that love balance, that relational balance, but you are definitely being stubborn and not paying attention to it for some reason. So what I pick up, because what is causing that is some hurt from the past that you haven't healed, and you're really pushing back on doing the work to heal. And when I talk about that, I mean, a lot of times we feel like, okay, I got hurt from my last relationship, and now I'm just going to let time heal all wounds. And that's not the case. That's not how it works. You really have to take that time to dig inside and find out, okay, what happened? What hurt me? What patterns did I bring into this relationship that could have been a part of this? And what patterns do I need to work on, unravel, and fix, so I don't pull those into the next relationship? So let's see what's going on with your higher self. Get a message from your higher self. Time to get serious about being happy. So it's there's some cold energy here, but this is it is about getting serious. It's about getting serious about moving towards your happiness, about getting out of this work mode, because I see you in just like this really heavy work mode, really distracting yourself from love. Like you're really afraid of love at this point, and doing what you can to stay out of it. So let's see. Message from your higher self. Let's get some advice. So the Page of Cups popped out for advice. Let's see. Again, compelled to pull a few cards for advice. Okay, so free yourself. Free your mind. Oh, and I'm breaking this off. Free your mind, and what is it? The rest will follow. be open to love. Be open to, be open again. Love is not going to hurt you, but you have to, when you do the work of what happened before that hurt you, you will see why it happened, because there's always a purpose to those hurts. And once you can unravel that and do the work, then you will start to be open. Start with baby steps. Don't jump back in, because I'm feeling in this reading that you had a tendency in the past to jump in too quickly, and take it slow. Take whatever you move into slow, and understand that any hurt, don't pull any of the old hurts from the past into the new you, to the new relationship. Really search for your internal truth. And there is a newness about what you're stepping into now. So the advice is to really be open to love, to unshackle yourself, let go of that protection mechanism that was keeping you stuck in the past. So be open to new love in order to move forward. And that will make you happy. I mean, you have all the power to move yourself forward. So take your power back. Hello to my Scorpios. This is your February energy reading, and we're going to find out what is going on for you, my deep Scorpios. So, if you're new to my readings, the way I lay them out is this card is always about the overall energy of the reading, and then this is the body or the guts, and of course that comes out for Scorpio. So I'm going to lay out the cards, and then we'll talk about them. And the card on the bottom I always pull out, that is your subconscious or your shadow. So right off the bat, I see some conflict, and it looks like I see conflict with some. This might not be for everybody, but I see conflict with, it could be your parents or some older people in your life. And there is something about pushing back and acting out. Scorpios, I love you. I have a Scorpio. So this is not far from some of the things that happens with Scorpio, right? So I see some energy of having a challenging time communicating with someone, not necessarily on your part, but someone that you're interacting with is not communicating clearly, and it's frustrating you. You really want to move forward, but you're really having a hard time. And it looks like that there could be some acting out behavior. And I'm with the Devil card, there's several different meanings with the Devil card, but in this I'm feeling like this could be, okay, this message might be for just a small group of people, but something around an addiction, and maybe your elders or older people are talking to you about quitting that addiction. And addiction can be anything. It's not just drugs or alcohol. It can be, video games. It can be food. It can be working too much. But it looks like that someone is trying to get you to move out of a very self-destructive pattern or self-destructive behavior, and you're looking at that message as someone trying to control you, these people trying to control you, and you're not looking at it as something for your greater good. And it really is something that's, the message is coming through from them to try to help you move forward. And I'm also picking up experience, like the people that are talking to you about this message or talking to you about this issue, it's because they've been where you are and they don't want you to go down the same path. So it is a very loving message, but I feel like again, for some of you, not all of you, you're taking it very defensively. And this is something that's been really, with the Nine of Wands, this is something that has beaten you up. It's something that you really want a better life, but you feel like there's no way out of it. And there's all kinds of conflict here. It's like you feel like indulging in this behavior, this is what brings you joy and happiness, but it's actually what's bringing you the grief and the agony and the sadness. So just an example is coming forward, a personal example. I am a recovering alcoholic. And I used to drink a lot, and I used to drink in situations with people, you know, after work, I'd have cocktails, and it would be all in the guise of having a good time. Yet I actually had an issue, and I was drinking too much. So what seemed like partying and having friends with people was actually a very destructive, very destructive behavior, creating self-inflicted wounds. So that is what I'm seeing as a message in it, and the message here is it's time to move away from that. It's time to move on. It's time to get help. It's time to change your way of thinking. And there's also it feels like this addiction has created, or this bad behavior has taken up a lot of your time, and there is an internal passion. There is something that you're ready to learn, that you're ready to move into, something that you want to do with your life, but it has been watered down. It has been being weighed down and covered up from that bad behavior, that addictive issue that you're dealing with. So there is a passion inside you that is burning, and it wants to come out, and I feel like you're moving on to that place, that you're starting to learn more about yourself and more about what you want to do. And interestingly, your subconscious is saying, put it down, it's time to walk away. That might seem very daunting and very challenging, but it's something that this is the time now to start talking to yourself about moving in a more positive direction. So let's see, I want to get some messages from your higher self. Okay, so what's going on is you've been stuck in old patterns and old ways of doing things, and it's really time to start looking at your life in a very different way. It's time to look at things differently, see the picture differently, and time to create a nurturing and loving environment for yourself. Because something's coming through is that, of course this happens a lot with addiction, is that this is coming, the addiction that you're using to cover up it's from the pain. It's from pain that you don't want to face, from pain that's keeping you up at night, that's sad and almost debilitating. So you just want something to make it all go away. A lot of us go through that. Again, I've gone through that. A good portion of my life was overcoming addictions, and it wasn't just one. There was one after another after another. But at some point in your life, it's time to take accountability and to stand up for yourself and to move past that bad behavior, move past those issues. And those issues are almost always caused from childhood trauma. So something that's coming through very strongly in your reading is start to pay attention. When do you want to practice that bad behavior? What trigger? What's going on? What is making you want to pick up that drink, want to play that video game, want to eat that bag of chips? Pay attention to the precursor to, that happens, that creates that behavior, and start to write it down. or at least become aware of it in your mind. But writing it down is a good way to look back and say, okay, on this day and this time, I was feeling, you know, this sadness from this situation, and so I ate a bag of chips. And then on this day, and then you can develop a journal, a history of what is causing that behavior, and that is the first step, awareness in working past that behavior. So Scorpios, you know, I've never met a Scorpio that was a real high level person. You're always very deep and just very caring, very, oh God, deep is the word that just comes to mind. And you take everything very, very personally, and you feel things that other people don't feel. So one of the things too here is ask for help and reach out. Make sure you're paying attention, create that awareness within yourself, but know that it's okay to reach out for help. You're some of the most intuitive people on the planet by just your sign alone, and it's okay to ask for help. Hello, Capricorn. It's time for your February energy reading. Let's see what the energy has to say for you or to you this month. All right. So the way I do my readings, in case you're new, is the first card that I pull out is the overall energy for the reading. And then this is the body of the reading. And I'll lay this out and then we'll talk about it. And then the bottom card that I pull out is the it's the shadow energy, or your subconscious, some energy that you're not aware of or not aware of at this point. So first of all, I see that the thing that stands out to me is that there is some healing. There was some deception, and there's some really. There's a lot of very weird energy in this. I hate to say it like that, but it kind of is going back and forth. As I'm feeling into the reading, it feels like, if you haven't, that it's time to take a break. And taking a break because of somebody that was, there was some deception, some deceit, there could have been some cheating, and it feels like this is familial. So something in your family, like there's been a lot of patterns going on in your family that you need to take a break from. And it's just, I'm hearing the word stop and regroup and find unity within yourself, but with other people. So I feel like it's time to reach out and find almost a new support system, because it feels like in the past, or most recent past, that the people that you've been depending on or you've been spending a lot of your time with have not necessarily been there for your best interest. And for whatever reason, I'm hearing the word soul sucking. So something that's pretty deep that I'm hearing is some that people that have taken advantage of you, taken a lot of your energy, and it's time to step in and take it back. And really, again, it's time to find a new tribe, or find the tribe. Find your soul tribe is coming through very, very strongly. I also feel a lot of young energy in here. So this could be younger people that are challenging you, or you could be a young person. But I feel like this is some younger people maybe in the family that are very fiery, that are very active, that almost demand a lot of attention. And because of that, you're not getting the attention that you have wanted or that you need. I don't feel like you're someone that asks for a lot, but you're feeling left out. And so the energy that's coming through is one of really yearning for that nurturing presence of, you know, that feminine energy. So you may be surrounded by a lot of masculine energy, and you're really craving that feminine, that divine feminine energy to come in and like surround you with that love. There's also some confusion. So I'm feeling like there's a lot of people, there's a lot of young energy, there's a lot going on. It's like, it's too much. It's kind of like being at a playground and all the kids are just losing their mind and you just want to sit in the corner and read a book. And I see the Knight of Swords here. It's like, oh, just make them go away, make all of that noise stop. And as I say that, I'm also picking up on, this could be for a smaller group of people, that if it's not outside influences that are so loud and disruptive and actually deceitful, this could be coming from your own mind. You could be overthinking yourself into this very negative, like overwhelming place. So it's time to... It's showing me that it's really time for you to slow down and to, it's time to slow down. It's time to withdraw a little. And when I say withdraw, it's withdraw from the drama, withdraw from the thinking. And if this is about your thought process, then it's time to become very mindful. It's time to get out of your head and stay out of the past, stay out of the future, and become more present, and really be passionate about taking care of yourself. Because I see there's a lot of playful energy, playful and confusion. Again, I feel like your mind is playing tricks on you. If this is not outside people, this is your mind playing tricks on you. And when that happens, what's really going on is you're not in control of your mind. So practicing mindfulness through meditating, whether it be a guided meditation or dance or walking, or also grounding yourself, going out into nature and hug a tree. And I say that and it sounds funny, but I'm being very serious. Just really getting in touch with nature to ground yourself. Because I do feel like there's so much going on, whether it be outside influence or inside influence, that you need something that brings you down to reality. So underneath, with the Page of Pentacles, I feel like you are searching. You are searching for a way out of this energy, again, be it external or internal. And it is time to do that searching, to do that soul searching, to investigate, to learn, come at this issue, come at your life more with a beginner's mind. And we'll see what your higher self, get some messages from your higher self. Just stop overthinking. So your higher self is saying, take a look at the bigger picture. So it looks like what's going on is you're just really, all of the disruption and issues that are going on, you're focusing too much on what's going on right now in all of that chaos. It's time to look at the bigger picture. It's time to take a step back, take a breath, and look at what's really going on in the bigger picture, and what can you do to change the trajectory of your life. You have some new ideas coming in. There's something new. There's something new that is trying to help you find balance, and it's time to really tap into that energy to find out what that is. And that makes so much sense, because if there's external or internal conflict, then quieting the mind. There's a saying that I really like. It's quiet the mind so the soul can speak. And that's really where you are in your mind here. Is it's overactive, whether external or internal, and it's time to quiet it. Do some things that can help you get organized in your thoughts so you can move forward. And I am compelled to pull a couple more cards. Journaling is also a really good way to really find out what's going on, kind of get some of those negative thoughts and feelings out of your head. Yeah, so there is so much activity. There's so many messages coming through. There is a lot of young, active energy. And so this is definitely Queen of Swords. It's time to get serious. It's time to take control and to do the things that you can for you and step out of all of this chaos and conflict. And that way you will be in a much better and more healthier space moving forward. So good luck to my Capricorns. And again, silence the mind so your soul can speak. Hello to my Aquarians. This is your February energy update for Aquarius. We will see what you have coming up this month, February 2022. So the way I do my readings, the way they're structured, is I pull, this card is the overarching energy, and this death card, don't freak out, that's about transformation. The rest of this is, I like to call it the guts or the body of the reading. And then I will pull a card on the bottom when I'm done. And that is your subconscious or your shadow. So right away, the first thing I see is Aquarians, this is a very transformative month for you. You're putting down, there's some Aquarians, no offense to all my Aquarian friends out there, but you all can be all up in your head. So this is a time where you're being forced to stop overthinking things and to move forward with thinking more from your heart space. So this is, a lot of times we talk about, working with your head and your heart, but this reading is really, the energy that's coming through is about working with your heart. This is about wishes granted too. So there's something coming forward that I think you've been thinking about for a really long time that you want to see happen, but there's been a lot of doubt. There's been a lot of I see this deceit, but this card is usually about someone cheating or being deceptive, but I'm pulling up the fact that it's been you that's being very deceptive about who you are, what you are, and what your capabilities are. So this is, with the Nine of Cups here, this is all about, again, what I'm pulling up is about knowing that you have the ability. Your wishes will be granted. Wish and you will receive. So come at what you're wanting from a very different space. And this does show me that this month, especially, you're changing the way you look at things. You're changing. You're coming and you're going. You're leaving a very active, overactive mind and pulling into that leading with your heart space. And it looks like what's going on is there's fast energy this month, with the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. There's something coming in very fast. And I'm picking up with the Aquarians, it's coming up, it's like you're taking control of something. This is going to sound strange. You're taking control of something that's out of your control. It is something bigger. It's something bigger than yourself. And you're being called to action, to move forward. And if you're not moving forward, this is about moving a set of plans in place that will help you to move forward in the future. There's a whole lot of juggling of thoughts, like, do I do it this way? Do I do it this way? If I do it this way, it's not going to work out, and I'm going to be at a loss. I mean, there's so much overthinking. It's making me a little dizzy when I look at the reading. So one of the things I'm also picking up in this is to stop looking back. One thing that you might hear sometimes is that, when we're in a state of depression, that is from overthinking things from the past. When we're dealing with anxiety, it's fear of the future. With this, I'm seeing that there's something in the past that is holding you back, and it looks like a loss, and it looks like it was some kind of very deep loss that you say you've gotten over, but you've never been able to find the balance of pulling out of it, if that makes sense. So it's, let's see if I can explain this a little better. So you're paying attention more to what you don't have than what you do have. And it's that loss. So stop dwelling on what you don't have and pay attention to what you do have left. And the Justice card is coming out, and this is really about finding your balance, finding a way to stop dwelling on what you lost and pay attention to what you do have moving forward. That's, Aquarians, air signs, I love you. I have a lot of Aquarian friends, and but they do tend to stay up in their head quite a bit, and really work on silencing that so you can move forward and you can find the balance that is right at the tip of your fingertips or tip of your tongue. I'm not sure, one of the two coming out. So underneath, Judgment. So you're actually at a crossroads. So there's a lot of things that are going on that, again, there's this back and forth energy that I feel, and you're at a crossroads, and you're gonna have an understanding. You're gonna come to an understanding this month of what direction to move forward. Once you can get out of that paying attention to what you don't have, you can embrace that energy of that crossroad, and you'll know which way to go. Let's get some more information. Let me ask about your higher self. Questions from your higher self. So it's funny because Aquarians and the overthinking, I can feel the overthinking. So it's like, wait a minute, do this. Wait a minute, do this. So let's pull a few more cards. What is the higher self of Aquarian telling them? Okay, so resistance. The advice that I've been giving here in what I'm seeing is, don't focus so much on what you don't have. Pay attention to what you do have left, and don't be stubborn about it. Don't be resistant to it. You know what you need to do to move forward, but I feel like in this reading, for those that this resonates with, you are ignoring that, and instead you're still focusing on the thing that hurt you. You're still focusing on that this is stuck energy. This is very stuck energy. And no pun intended, this is a lot of stuckness here, right? So the Ten of Swords is a very daunting, scary card. It's about endings. In this reading, it's about being stuck. But it's also, it's a beautiful card in the respect that the sun is coming up in the background. It's a 10, so 10 is about new beginnings, and the 0 in the 10 is about God consciousness. So there is some message in this about moving forward. You have the ability to become unstuck and utilize your internal guidance. You are the Hermit. This is a lot of this is Virgo energy, but this is telling me to tell you that you know the right thing to do. You just have to listen to yourself and move forward into that energy. Being compelled to pull a few more cards here. You are a guide. I can see that you're definitely, this is, of course, the Hermit is a guide card, but I'm hearing specifically that you are a guide and you need to utilize this loss, this pain from the past to help you move forward and to help others. Yeah, this is time for you to make a decision to step out of that poverty consciousness. Stop looking at the past. Stop looking at what you don't have. Stop looking at everything that you do wrong and pay attention to what you do right. Yeah, and pull into that healing energy. And this is your card, Aquarius. So this is being true to yourself. Stop looking at everything that everybody did wrong to you. Again, this is about people being deceptive. Get out of that, what people did wrong to you, and pull into that healing energy. Know that you have the power to move yourself forward. Yeah, pay attention to what you do have and not to what you don't have. And that's a really easy trap for us to get into. I know that was something that I struggled with a lot back in the day, that all I would do is internally talk to myself about all the things I did that were bad instead of focusing on what I did that was good. And luckily I had a friend that said, why don't you try doing that for a change? And when I stepped into that energy and I stepped into doing that, little by little, things got better. So you have the power within you to do that. This reading is telling you to start moving in that direction. Again, you have the power. Pay attention to the positive. Hello to my Pisces. This is your energy reading for February of 2022. And let's see what energy we're swimming into for Pisces. So I'm getting a little slap happy because we've done a lot of these today. So let's see what the energy has for you. So the way I structure these readings is this is the overarching energy of the whole reading, and then this is the body. And then I will lay this out and we'll talk about what we see. That's interesting. And then the bottom card I always pull is your subconscious or your shadow. So right off the bat, when I look at a reading, there's always a card or cards that stand out, and there's a lot of I'm seeing a lot of Leo energy here. So there's a lot of for Pisces, there's a lot of, it's something about finding your inner strength. And being happy again. This is interesting. So I'm getting a lot of intuitive hits with yours. That doesn't surprise me because Pisces is one of the most intuitive signs in the zodiac. So this is about letting go. This is about letting go of energy that was blocking you. Again, had a lot of these readings been about power, and this is about stepping into your power, not blocking love from coming in. And love, I don't mean exterior love. Specifically with Pisces, I'm feeling that this is about allowing your love of yourself, what you love to do. And there's a lot about animals in here. There's something about love of animals, so this may resonate with some of the Pisces out there. And most of the Pisces I know have a very strong love of animals, but there is, it is getting back to what you love, whether it's in nature, with animals, communing with those to make yourself feel better, and working with them, working in those energies. There's also, I see there's a lot of drama. There's a lot of people. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. There's just a lot of interaction going on with you this month. So it may cause a little bit of confusion trying to figure out where to start and where to stop. I also see some action, like moving forward. And you getting into a very young into a young, new beginning mindset. So moving through that and really tapping into your joy, tapping into what makes you happy. And there's a lot of movement. I see something coming out strong about moving fast. Something about your thoughts, organizing your thoughts and finally putting them into motion to go forward. And you're also embarking, if you haven't already started your spiritual awakening or your spiritual journey, this is the month where you start really digging into it, and it starts to speed up and really speaking your truth, speaking your mind. Something that Pisces are not always really good at. So they tend to be, as a rule, Pisces can be like overgivers, very caring, very loving, but not always, that doesn't always transfer to themselves. So this is a time where you are going to go more within to help yourself and to move further along your spiritual path. Underneath, I see as far as what's going on in your self-conscious, and what was going on, I'm feeling like in the past too, is like you've been through the ringer, you've been through a whole lot of challenges, and this has been a long time coming for you to have the courage, the strength to really pay attention to yourself, to focus on yourself so you can move forward. So let's see what your higher self has to say. We'll get a message from your higher self. So this is a really beautiful energy. This is also about moving away from people's energy that no longer serves you. There's a lot of change going on this month in your life. And again, a lot of speaking your truth. But be nice. Do it lovingly and compassionately. So messages from your higher self. So this is about seeing things differently. So anything any drama or any issues that you're experiencing, because I am seeing some issues with people, really taking a look at that and seeing what is that underlying issue? What are those issues? What's causing that drama? And looking at it differently, because as you look at it differently, it will help you with your perception of the situation. There's also, I'm also seeing some communication issues. So making sure that you're very clear with what you're saying. Don't expect people to just know what you're thinking. That can be a little bit of a Piscean trait. I know I have a Piscean moon, a Pisces moon. So for a good part of my life, I've always felt like, well, you should just know how I feel. So that's something that you're working through now, is making sure that you put words to your emotions and really embrace that communication aspect. I'm also seeing some energy around completion. So you're at the end of a cycle. It's like you're almost to the very end. You get there, and then you feel like there's things that keep nagging, that keep coming up, that feel like it's keeping you from finishing. So the advice here, advice that I'm seeing within the reading is be patient and keep focused on the joy. Keep focused on the end game. Keep focused on what has almost happened. You're almost to the end of a challenging journey. Keep that courage, that strength within you, and know that all that hard work is paying off. And a few more cards want to come out. Let's see what else for the Pisces. Okay, so you are getting back to being very grounded and very, it feels like there for a while you weren't grounded, you weren't stable. You're now coming back to a point where you are becoming grounded and stable again. And make sure that you're doing extra grounding during this time. If you don't know how to ground your energy, there's lots of videos on YouTube. You can just type in grounding your energy, how to ground my energy, and you know, it can be as simple as going out into nature. I know it's a little cold right now, but focusing on nature. If you have pets, spending time with your pets, just really take this time this month to ground yourself and to not get caught up in external issues. Advice here is be really careful about juggling too much and too much outside energy coming in. Yeah, because this is all in your head. So the grounding, this right here is telling me to just emphasize that you need to ground, because if not, you can get very tied up in your thoughts, and it can overwhelm you to feel like that you're trapped. So keep your energy grounded, and you will be in really good shape as you're moving forward on this really beautiful journey this month. Good luck to you, Pisces. Happy February.